Doctors see something coming out of baby's neck. When they find out what it was, it left them in awe. The pill responsible for reinvigorating the sex lives of thousands could also help give a young boy a chance at a normal life. Neck masses in children usually fall into one of three categories: developmental, inflammatory, or reactive, or neoplastic. Common congenital development masses in the neck include thyroid, glossy duct, cysts, branchial, cleft, cysts, dermoid cysts, vascular malformations, and hemangiomas. The Daily Mail reports that an important part of Serrano's treatment is taking Viagra, which has been shown to reduce the size of tumors in children. The drug is most commonly prescribed to treat impotence. An 11-year-old Mexican boy who'd been suffering from a massive tumor, Andrew, drew international attention after U.S. Homeland Security investigations helped him get treatment in New Mexico. Had the growth removed after a long surgery, a New Mexico church said on Tuesday. In a statement, Christian Alcatra of the First Baptist Church of Rio Rancho said the boy underwent surgery Monday at the University of New Mexico Children's Hospital to remove the tumor from his neck, shoulder, and torso area. The road to recovery will be long and many challenges still lie ahead for this young boy, said Alcazar, who's housing the boy while he receives treatment. In July 2012, U.S. Homeland Security investigations assisted in picking up the boy and his parents from a neighborhood in Sioux Dinoirs, one of the deadliest cities in the world because of the presence of drug cartels. Federal agents helped the family seek care for the boy after First Baptist Church members saw him during a missionary visit. Federal officials wanted to keep the boy's identity secret because his family still lives in Cuba. Arrest after stories and images of the boy went viral, First Baptist Church officials reported a jump in donations to help him raise money for his surgeries. The boy was diagnosed with venous lymphangioma on his shoulder, and he was told by doctors at the University of New Mexico Hospital that he must undergo a series of surgeries and treatments to remove the huge fluid buildup. For the past 2 years, the church has raised money for the boy, who's now living in Rio Rancho with Alcazar. The boy's plight drew support from New Mexico Governor Susana Martinez, who asked federal officials to extend his stay in the U.S. so he could continue treatment. He still needs surgeries to reconstruct his shoulder bone and to remove excessive skin, officials said. The boy and his parents were snatched in July 2012 from the gang-infested neighborhood in Sol Juarez, one of the deadliest cities in the world, after members of a New Mexico Baptist church saw him near an orphanage and sought help. The parents of the child said the tumor on his shoulder and neck has grown so large that it affects his eyesight and could move into his heart. We've tried to let Jose lead as normal a life as possible. We let him do everything the other children do unless it's unsafe for him or will be too difficult, Jose's mother, Cindy, said in November 2013. But sometimes he gets so sad because he's different from other kids. Until now, there was simply no money to treat him. At the time, doctors were using the male impotence drug Viagra, which has been shown to shrink some tumors in children to get the growth down to a more manageable size. Prior to surgery, Jose's case was brought to the attention of medical experts and missionaries from the First Baptist Church in Rio Rancho, near Albuquerque, New Mexico. They helped his family connect with specialists at the University of New Mexico Children's Hospital. It was only in 2012 that his mother and her husband, Jose Sr., even found out what was causing the growth their son had since he was a baby. When Jose was born with the growth, they were terrified for him, she recalled. The doctors told me it was very likely the baby wouldn't even survive the night. I felt bad because we didn't have the financial resources to get him the help he needed. The little ball he had as a baby has grown, and now it's spreading to the sides. It seems to be filling up more. The first year was difficult because we didn't know what could happen and if we could hurt him. The lump was as big as his head, so it was difficult to hold him because they said he wouldn't survive. I got a sense of pride to still have him, Jose Jr. said, beaming. Now I have much more hope. I just want to be able to play and have fun, Dr. Ray said. Unfortunately, we encountered a lot of bleeding and we almost replaced the whole bloodline, and that's when we decided to stop. But despite the unexpected outcome, surprisingly, Jose has completely bounced back from the surgery. And the growth is shrunk, he said. At first I was swollen, and then overnight the mass had completely disappeared. I'm no longer carrying so much weight. Now I can lift my arm up a lot more. I'm so much happier. I feel a lot less worried than before. I feel in a lot less danger than before, even though the growth is still there. Doctors say the scar tissue caused by the lymphangioma to shrink down in the months after the surgery. Now Jose is just like any other boy, playing in the street and riding his bicycle. He's now recovered so well. The whole family has been able to go back to their home in Mexico, and he has high hopes for his future. Thanks to the team of American doctors, he said. The doctors and pastors from the church have helped us a lot, my family and me, and they've really helped. We're thankful towards them. Jose is being treated at the University of New Mexico Children's Hospital, where a team of volunteer doctors in November 2014 removed 1/3 of the tumor, about a foot in length and 4 inches wide. Despite the free medical treatment, it's been difficult for Jose's family to cover traveling expenses to the pediatric hospital since they moved back to Juarez last year. They had been living in New Mexico for some time before and after his surgery. Jose needs to travel to the hospital at least every 3 months to continue receiving treatment to prevent the tumor from return. Jose's father, Jose Ramirez Sr., no longer has the bus he used to drive to support the family. He now works fixing and reselling used washing machines. On weekends, he works as a waiter at a pizzeria. It's been really hard, said Jose's mother, Cindy Serrano, who sells used clothes to make ends meet. Last week, the Mexican consulate in El Paso helped the family cover part of their travel expenses to New Mexico and make sure Jose receives the month treatment. That help, however, is uncertain. In the future, the boy's entire family, his parents and 4 siblings, moved to Rio Rancho, about 15 miles north of Albuquerque, in December 2014. For the future, I want to study, finish university work, have a family, and then become a mechanic. The Baptist missionaries have also managed to set up a fund to finance Jose's medical bills, which are pretty expensive, $2,000 a week for medications and $125,000 for the treatment and surgery, supplied by donations from the medical center, their church, and from private citizens all over the world. Drug maker Pfizer has agreed to cover the cost of the Viagra too, which is obviously a big plus. Jose's treatment would have been unable to happen without their help, as Jose's family describes the bills as more money than he would ever hope to see in a lifetime, giving you some indications of how desperate the situation has been for them beforehand. Aside from the obvious visual stigma, Jose can't swim because the water hurts him, and he also gets tired easily if he takes part in any kind of sporting activity. Assists also affect his movements. Let's all hope that this treatment manages to come through and he can have a normal life. He was featured on an episode of Body Bazaar on TLC UK, which aired last night and is bound to be repeated countless times throughout the week. There's a clip from it below in pictures. They also fund Jose treatment at UNJ, and through the help of immigration and state officials, visas for the family to enter the United States. Serrano said living in Rio Rancho was as hard as living in Juarez. She said the pay her husband received for working at a masonry factory and later at a landscaping company was not enough to even pay the gas for a used white 2006 Pontiac Mountaineer that the church donated to them. First Baptist Church pastor Kristen Elpcher, who at one point had the temporary custody of Jose months before his surgery, said church donations to help the family slowed by April 2015. By that time, we'd finished our main purpose, which was to get Jose treatment and surgery, he said. We're happy and satisfied to have helped Jose. We're very thankful to God, people who made donations, and the hospital who helped Jose. In early May, Jose's family moved back to their 1-bedroom cement block home in the Rancho Alapro neighborhood. Serrato said her husband tried to get Jose comfortable by trying to build another bedroom, which is still unfinished. Jose sleeps in a sleeping bag on the floor while his 2 brothers and 2 sisters share a queen-size bed. His parents sleep on a twin mattress in the same room. Now a sixth grader at the Bella Vista Elementary School in North Suarez, Jose said he doesn't miss having a big TV set, video games, or any other amenities he had while living in the United States. He now enjoys playing with a wooden spinning top or a donated iPad that now has a broken screen. "It's okay," he said. "At least I'm home with all my family.